I am Alexander, and I have come to offer you something more valuable than my victories, the lessons they cost me. I conquered the known world before I turned 30. That sentence impresses people. It should also disturb them, because if you study my life carefully, you will realize something uncomfortable. Conquest is easy compared to control. Expansion is easy compared to endurance. And ambition is easy compared to restraint. Let me tell you what victory actually taught me. Not what historians celebrate, what they overlook. When I was young, I was taught to admire Achilles, the warrior who chose glory over longevity. Understand this carefully. The heroes you admire will quietly determine the risks you justify. My father, Philip II, built Macedon into a disciplined military power. Aristotle taught me philosophy and science. But what stayed with me most was this idea that greatness required scale. So when the throne came to me at 20, I did not ask whether expansion was necessary. I asked how far it could go. That question is dangerous, because the world does not tell you when to stop. You must decide that yourself. Ambition grows in proportion to what it consumes. After Greece, Persia seemed natural. After Persia, Egypt. After Egypt, India. There is always another horizon. If you do not define enough, your life becomes a chase without conclusion. When Thebes rebelled early in my reign, I destroyed it. Brutal decisions create immediate silence, and silence feels like stability. But fear-based authority has a hidden flaw. It requires constant reinforcement. You must keep proving your dominance. You must keep reminding others what happens when they resist. Fear wins obedience. It does not win devotion. If your leadership relies on intimidation alone, you are not building loyalty. You are renting compliance. And rentals expire. At battles like Issus and Gaugamela, my army was smaller than the Persian forces under Darius III. We won not because of numbers, but because of structure, discipline, positioning. Preparation is quiet. Victory is loud. But here is what no one tells you. Once you win repeatedly through strategy, you begin to trust your instinct more than your caution. Success breeds overconfidence. Overconfidence dulls calculation. The same mind that carefully analyzes risk can slowly shift into assuming inevitability. And the moment you believe you are inevitable, you stop questioning yourself. That is the beginning of decline. In Egypt, I was declared divine, a son of Amun. Imagine being told repeatedly that you are chosen. It changes you, not instantly, gradually. Criticism forces reflection. Praise removes friction. When no one challenges you, your internal doubts begin to fade. And doubt is necessary. Doubt keeps ambition measured. Doubt forces strategy to sharpen. When people worship you, you must work twice as hard to remain rational. Because unchecked praise slowly replaces self-awareness with myth. And once you begin believing your own myth, reality becomes optional in your thinking. That is dangerous for any leader. As I moved deeper into Persian territory, I adopted elements of Persian dress and court ceremony. I believed integration would unify cultures. But my Macedonian generals saw betrayal. They felt I was abandoning my origins. Here is the subtle danger of growth. As you expand into new environments, you evolve. But not everyone evolves at your pace. The distance between you and your earliest supporters can quietly widen. If you change too rapidly without bringing others along, resentment forms. And resentment in close circles is more dangerous than open rebellion. Growth must be communicated. Transformation must be shared. Otherwise, expansion isolates you. Persepolis burned. Some say it was strategic. Some say it was emotional. It does not matter which. What matters is this. The larger your influence, the larger the consequences of your impulses. A private mistake as a minor leader affects few. A public mistake, as a dominant figure, reshapes history. The higher you rise, the more disciplined your emotions must become. Power amplifies error. I expanded territory faster than any ruler before me. But speed creates fragility. When I died in Babylon at 32, there was no clear succession plan, no stabilized administrative system strong enough to survive without me. My generals fought. The empire fractured. Understand this clearly. If your success depends entirely on your presence, it is not success. It is dependency. True leadership builds structures that outlive the leader. Otherwise, your absence becomes collapse. After each victory, there was celebration. But internally, there was always the next objective. Ambition does not end when goals are reached. It recalibrates upward. This is the trap of high achievers. You confuse forward motion with fulfillment. But motion is not peace. If you do not define internal satisfaction, external conquest will never supply it. I defeated armies. I outmaneuvered kings. I redrew maps. And yet I died at 32 from illness. No strategy defeated that. Mortality humbles all ambition. That is not pessimism. It is clarity. When you understand that time is limited, you begin to evaluate differently. You ask, is this expansion worth the cost? Is this ambition aligned with something lasting? Is this pursuit building stability or merely scale? They remember the title, the great. But greatness is a perspective, not a guarantee. Look deeper at my life and you will see unchecked ambition expands endlessly. Fear-based authority demands constant reinforcement. Praise clouds judgment. Momentum disguises exhaustion. Speed sacrifices stability. Power magnifies mistakes. Identity shifts isolate leaders. And mortality ends every campaign. If you seek conquest, understand the mathematics of consequence, because the world will not warn you when you are crossing from greatness into excess. You must recognize it yourself. I conquered the known world before 30. But victory, without restraint and preparation, is merely expansion waiting to fracture. I am Alexander of Macedon, and this is the cost of winning.